What's up, Crazed Nation? I'm Crazy Reviews, and today I'm bringing you my first impressions on JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Diamond is Unbreakable Episode 1. Now, in this episode, we are reintroduced to Jotaro, and he's going to Mario, which is a town which he'll find Josuke, our new main character for this part of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Now, the thing is here that we have two characters here fighting side by side, and they both have really impressive stands. But I think what they're doing to, make Josuke more appealing, make him, the better JoJo of this part is that they're nerfing Jotaro's character by making his stand less useful, which they did here. At a certain point in this anime, you'll see that Jotaro and Josuke got into a little fuss, and then they started fighting one another because he thought that Jotaro was making fun of his hair. So, to avoid getting his face fucked up, Jotaro did use Star Platinum's time freezing ability, which he did state that since he didn't use Star Platinum for that ability in 10 years, he was only able to freeze time for only half a second. So, yeah, I don't know why he wasn't training with Star Platinum, but for some reason, he wasn't, and this is the cause that he is now only able to stop time for half a second. So we do see that Star Platinum has definitely been nerfed, and Josuke is going to get the spotlight here. It's the same formula that they've used throughout the whole entire series since part 1, 2, 3, and to this part. Jonathan Joestar was the first Joestar, so obviously he's going to be the most powerful one. And then he died. So guess what? Joseph Joestar is now the most powerful JoJo of them all now. Next thing you know, it gets to part 3. Joseph is still alive. But what they do is they give a pretty OP stand to Jotaro. And they just give a pretty average, nothing special stand to Joseph. So that Jotaro gets the spotlight here. Now we're into part 4, so that's where I'm seeing that they're giving, Josuke the spotlight by nerfing Star Platinum a little bit here. And also, another thing that we noticed right off the bat from the first few seconds of the anime is that there's something different about the art style. There's a different color palette. This guy's yellow. Cleaner characters, it's not such a detailed or rough sketch, however you want to put it. Everyone's a lot cleaner. I'll show screen caps of part 3 and part 4 here. Basically, in part 3, what I do like that they did end up getting rid of is those shoulder pads and just all that bulkiness that they gave every character whenever they had a regular t-shirt or anything else with sleeves on their character. Like, why are they having shoulder pads when they put on these clothes, and then you'll see them take off the shirt or jacket or whatever, and oh, well, what was the point of the shoulder pad? It didn't make any sense. So I'm kind of happy that they did get rid of that, though. The art style is a little more cartoonish, and don't get me wrong, and don't start this whole anime is cartoons debate kind of crap. It's just, it does feel a little cartoonish just through the color palette, sky being yellow, and, the cleaner characters, and even Star Platinum looks pretty cartoony. It really looks like something you might see on Saturday morning cartoons. I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like the art style. It's just, it's going to take some getting used to. and I've seen other people talk about this that yeah, it's definitely going to be taking some getting used to. But I do believe that this might help other people that haven't gotten into JoJo because of the art style to get into it now, because it's a lot cleaner, and maybe they'll enjoy it a little more. But enough of that, let's get on to Josuke, which is our new main character for this part. And I gotta say, I hear it all the time. People are saying that this is a more flamboyant character. It's not a insanely buff JoJo character that we're used to seeing every part. This guy's a little more slim. He's, dressed differently. He just has this more flamboyant side to him. And he has this weird thing about turtles. I don't know how that's going to work. And definitely, like I said, don't talk shit about his hair, because, you can do a lot of things to him, apparently, and he won't get mad. But when you talk about his hair, one wrong move and yeah, lights out, guy. So basically what we do see here is that he does have a stand, obviously, because he is a Joestar, and his stand is Crazy Diamond, or in the anime version he is Shiny Diamond, I do believe, which I don't know if that was a copyright reason that they changed the name, because I heard that in the manga, the mangaka likes to, put band names on t-shirts or whatever, or just use a lot of band names, and that they change the names when it's getting animated so they can avoid like copyright and all that jazz. So, that might have been a cause. I'm not too sure what's going on there, but now he's Shiny Diamond, and what we see is that the power is more than likely a healing ability. So while he can beat up people and stuff, you break someone's nose and you'll see that their nose is going to reform after the battle. It's not really the same when he comes back in the fight between him and the other high schooler, though I don't know if that his ability can only heal it to a certain extent. Like, say he broke his nose, heals it back, doesn't look the same, but that's the extent of his ability. I don't know, because he healed a turtle and he also punched through a girl later on in that episode and healed them both. So they didn't look like they had anything weird or out of the norm with their healing, so I'm not too sure if their healing was just as different, or if, they were back to 100%. I don't know. We haven't seen too much of it, so it's a little too early to say that, yeah, he does have healing ability, but it only works to a certain extent, or yada yada yada, something that you have to keep in mind. So, other than that, we do see that we are introduced to a villain, though I don't believe that this guy is going to be the main villain, but I haven't read the manga, so, I guess anything could happen. But if I had a hunch, I'd say that this guy is not the main villain. But this guy, he is an escaped convict that has escaped right after being executed at prison, so something failed there. I'm assuming he had a stand at the time of his execution, and since no one can see stands unless if they're stand users, he got free, and now he's causing mayhem and chaos in the town with his stand. Though, like I said, I don't believe he's going to be the final villain. I think he's just a minion. So, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but, that's just my hunch here. other than that, the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is a little sneak peek at characters that may be revealed later on in this part of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Basically, after the convenience store robbing incident, we do see some shadow figures in the background of the crowd, and if you look at it right when it starts showing the figures in the crowd, we do see at the far left of the screen a very familiar character, you know, a silhouette of the character. I do believe that's the term for, you know, a shadow. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but it does look a lot like Polnareff. Is he going to come back? Because, you know, that'd be pretty interesting to see Polnareff come back. Though nothing's set in stone, unless if you read the manga, then you would know. So, yeah, just don't spoil me if you know it. Don't just be like, yeah, man, he totally comes back. I read the manga. Like, don't do that to me, man. Anyways, so I thought that was a fun little Easter egg that they added in. Though on that note, I am going to end this video. So if you do want to see some discussion videos on later episodes of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 4, please leave a like, as it would be greatly appreciated and it helps support the channel, as well as subscribing is cool if you're new. If you're not new, what you need to do is tell someone who is new that they should definitely subscribe. No questions asked. And as always, keep it steezy, and I'll see you in the next episode.